So how are you guys doing? Timmy, Nitin?
What's that, sorry?
How's everybody doing? How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. It's morning here. We're just, kids are sitting at their desks doing their schoolwork.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. Here's our view. I'll show you our view.
Whoa. Looks so good. So good.
Those are the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So awesome. So before I introduce you guys to everyone, I'm going to tell welcome to WPC, and we are the biggest network of photographers in India and growing all over India, growing all over globe actually. And we focus on teaching photography and giving a platform to photographers who share the work and take part in worldwide competitions and help amateurs and professionals to earn money through our platform. So welcome to WPC, and I am Saiz, the creative head of WPC and a wedding photographer.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Perfect. So I have a short introduction.
So sorry for the technical difficulties, which was completely our fault.
No problem.
Not technical difficulties.
Well,
time zone misunderstanding.
Well, I did have it right initially, and then I don't know. It just was. I didn't keep track of it.
But I learned in India that my mom told me that. So I'll tell you in Hindi. We say "Sabar ka phal meetha hota hai." So that means patience pays you rich dividends.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking. Yeah, go ahead.
I said we're just at Indian time here, right?
Correct. With the weddings and all, like taking the Indian time just like 1 hour late, 2 hour late.
We did it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. Okay. So I have a short introduction for you guys. Tell me if I'm correct or stuff. But your adventure, their adventure in wedding photography began in a mountain summit on the very first date, and that's when their fascination with light and love was born. That fascination led them through some of the most spectacular places on earth where they honored their skills of documenting light and adventure.
Yeah. That was what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, that's a bit of an old, outdated about right up on our website. Time for an update.
Time for an update. But yeah, I mean, Lanny and I met 20 years ago, and
that is so
we've
cool.
always sort of lived. Our first date was climbing a mountain. We've always sort of lived for adventure and outdoors and nature. Yeah. And that sort of fascination with outdoors and adventure has really shaped the way that we see and experience the world.
Sure.
And as a result, it's shaped the way that we photograph the world and the way that we photograph weddings. We all have different backgrounds and different motivations and different interests and upbringings, and all of that affects the way that you see and experience the world.
I love your pictures. I mean, being a wedding photographer myself, I've been constantly looking for the inspiration and all your interviews. Like I was preparing for your interview today, and I almost spent like 8 hours to know the details of things, like from your workshops, from your sessions, from your art, from your how you make sure that you focus all the detailing and stuff. It was so fascinating that I had the goosebumps that I wish I had the camera right now and I can just go out and take pictures.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
Isn't that the wish of all of us, right?
Okay. But how are you guys keeping up with the lockdown?
Oh, I mean, we're fine. We're we like all wedding photographers out there in the industry, we definitely took a big hit, a huge hit. But we live in Canada, and our country's been dealing with it very well. The government's been great. We're stuck at home.
By nature here, and so it's not the same as being locked down in a urban, highly high population density area, right? Like we can go outside, we can breathe the fresh air, we can walk through nature, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, so we're fine. I'm actually quite enjoying being at home because we're usually so busy traveling, and we're so busy traveling and working that it's this downtime that we're getting, despite the financial difficulties, is a gift.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, we received like around 73 messages from people, like questions from people, and We summed it up like around 20 of them, and I was so happy to write down. Like again, I told you, like mentioning again that being a wedding photographer, for me to know the detailings and stuff, I know how it feels and the emotions and like everything, how closely you need to take a look. So before I start asking you every question, we have a very short rapid fire round for you guys. Can you come again?
3 questions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were asking a lot of interesting questions, and we summed it up to like make sure that we ask at least 15 to 20 questions.
I was just laughing when you said every question.
I need to plug this. I'm just going to go and grab my charger cable.
Yeah, awesome. So, okay, so it's a rapid fire session just to have like get things started on a positive note. So when I ask you one word, like I'll ask you one word thing and just tell me what comes on your mind with the same thing. So I'm going to start with camera.
A 1-word answer?
Yeah.
How about 2 words? How about 2 words?
Okay, 2 words. Perfect. That sounds good.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, traveling.
What's
Not right now.
Family.
Oh, okay.
He's throwing 1 word. He's throwing 1 word at us, and then we're like responding with whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
Okay. So family.
1 word that comes to mind?
Was it family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his words are 1 word, and we can answer it just whatever comes to mind. I don't think our answer has to be 1 word.
What comes to your mind? Family.
Important.
Okay. India.
India?
Yeah.
Beautiful chaos.
Flashlights.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Lani, yeah. What's on your mind? India.
I'm trying to think of like a 1 word. I was going to say variety.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Diverse.
Okay. Flashlights.
What was it? Say that one again.
Flashlights.
Flashlights?
Yeah.
Like camera flash?
Yeah.
What comes to mind? Pro photo.
How are you, Lani? Lani's still around?
He's just gone to grab something. I'll be right back.
Okay. No worries. I'll take the next one. Workshops.
Workshops. Oh, man. Workshops. What comes to mind with workshops? I mean, just the lifelong learning that comes with being a photographer.
That's good. Okay. Adventure.
Life.
Detailing.
Say that one again.
Detailing. Like detailing on the picture. Detailing in the picture.
Detailing.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Weddings.
Beautiful chaos again.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. Now we have like few questions from the audience, and then whatever we received on our page, and then I'm gonna start asking them. Just tell me whatever you feel. So, what have been the key things in your business that has led to being successful?
Oh my gosh. What are the key things in our business well, that really depends on your definition of success, because there's some things that our business that I think are very successful.
Sure.
But other things that I feel, thank you, Malin, are not so successful. And that's a hard question to answer in a few minutes. Can you plug that board in just so we can? I would say having very high standards has probably been one of the key things that has led to our success. So having really high standards in terms of what we put out there and and that comes in all sort of forms of photography, whether we're or all aspects of the business, whether we're talking the actual photos, the blog write-ups, the way we Instagram, the way we curate, all that sort of stuff. And then the second thing I think that would lead to, or that leads to our success, would be the fact that we're never wanting to stay stagnant. So we're always wanting to grow and develop and continue learning to see the world differently and experience the world differently and in new lights.
That's good. That's good. So moving on to the next one. So shooting weddings are stressful, but how do you keep up with the hunger to improve and get better?
Did you hear him?
Shooting weddings are stressful. How to keep up with the
hunger to improve and get better.
Is that what the question was? The connection's not great here. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So I said shooting weddings are stressful, but how do you keep the hunger to improve and get better?
How do you keep that? That is a book. Like, I could literally write a book on that question.
Okay.
It's all about.
I mean, essentially,
it's not
the reason we're struggling with that is because that's the kind of question where it literally takes us 40 hours at workshops to answer that question. Yeah, essentially, right? Because there's no. I mean, that's something that we all wrestle with. We all struggle with. It's part of the magic of what we do. It's part of where the magic comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's like which piece in this 10,000 piece puzzle is the answer to that? Well, it's none of the pieces. It's all of them combined. And when it comes together, that is the story of what fuels that hunger, where it's coming from, how we, navigate that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thesis.
It is. It's literally a thesis.
It's not a one-word answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Embracing the process. The process would be the biggest thing, is embracing that process of getting better and constant improvement comes. You got to accept the whole bag. You got to accept the good stuff and the bad stuff and the torment and the excitement. Yeah. You got to accept both ends of the spectrum.
Okay. So moving on to the next one, has it ever happened that you are constantly shooting for hours and losing out on your creativity?
Oh yeah, all the time. But I will say on that, because it's a common idea that we're not being creative, or we're not flexing our creativity if we're if making work for our clients. Of course, Eric and I struggled with that, but we've gotten to a point where those two things aren't mutually exclusive. And what I mean by that is we can be feeling like we are achieving creativity or being creative while doing what the client wants, while doing what the client has hired us. They've hired us to do what we do. They've hired us to show the way we see stories. And
now it's perfect.
Okay. Now it's working.
The question was along the lines of have you ever feel like you're that's a slave to the client and not fueling your need for creativity. And so of course we all kind of wrestle with that, but we've learned to approach our weddings in a way where those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. We can be achieving both of the things at the same time. And for us, what that means is letting them exist in reality. So the creativity is existing in the stories and the moments and the little things that we see happening, the reality, and then we just have to react and anticipate to that reality. Mm-hmm. We don't have to create, we don't have to direct. Other than portraits, Erica and I don't ask anybody to do anything for us at weddings. So we're not directing, we're not staging, we're not setting things up. And our clients know that. They hire us to do that. They know that approach. And so in our minds, it's like the creativity, I don't have that pressure of having to be curious and paying to
what exists around us. That being said, there's many times where we're bored and there isn't creativity that even exists around us in the air, or it's harder to. Yes, there's many times that we're not on creative inspiration. We're relying on our skills as craftspeople. We're relying on the fact that we know how to make a composition, we know how to use our cameras, we know what makes a good photo, we know how to film. Okay.
Yeah, I think we missed on your comment on this part.
Oh, you missed the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I was saying there's many, many times where we're creatively uninspired at weddings. Many times. I mean, if we walked around in a state of inspiration all the time, we'd be crazy people. Inspired, that's when we rely on our skills as craftspeople, right? As people who know how to use their cameras, know how to use their flashes, know how to fill the frame, know how to capture moments up close, know how to square up with the moment, right? All those are not relying on our skills as an artist, but relying on our skills as a craftsperson. So sometimes we're more craftspeople and sometimes we're more artists, and it really depends on a whole host of things. So
okay, awesome. So what are the important key elements that you guys keep in mind while shooting?
Important key elements we keep in mind while shooting. I suppose the most important one would be to truly be there at the wedding, like to be present in the moment, which is very easy for me to sit and say, but very hard to put into practice. And that it takes practice. It takes intention, lots of intention, and so that would be the biggest key element. Would be to truly be there in the moment and there, not just seeing your camera, not just seeing your clients through your camera, but seeing your clients as humans, having a genuine interest in them and their relationships, and truly being there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has it ever happened that while shooting that sometimes we are so emotional to see what's going on and we are not taking pictures at the same time? Has it ever happened that, okay, the moment is so good and precious that you're like, oh, okay?
Yeah, all the time. We'll find ourselves partaking in moments instead of photographing the moments. But you can photograph and partake in the moment at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll constantly find ourselves partaking in the moment and saying, oh, I should really be photographing this, because it's our human instinct to want to partake, to want to laugh when people are laughing and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would add to that, trusting in the process. A lot of photographers, especially early on, we get so focused on doing things right? It's stressful. I got to do this right. I got to get this right. And that's result focused. That's focusing on the end product, right? That's focusing on the blog post or the client gallery or the end photo that you end up delivering. Whereas if you focus on the process getting there, it's about doing the right things. Right? Not doing things right, but just doing the right things, trusting in my process. If I do this, if I do that, if I do what I do, the result will take care of itself. It's a lot less sense of pressure.
Okay. So do you think working out for any photographers or cinematographers is important?
Can you say that again?
I said working out, like going to the gym or just working out before shooting, or just to make sure that you're fit enough to hold your cameras and gears. Is it important?
Fitness is important for us, for sure. Yes, because they're long days, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the more fit you are, often the more stamina you have. But what requires the most energy output, I think, is not the physical work. It's the mental work. Right? The mental work to keep curious and keep open and keep looking and keep, looking for things of interest. And that's what's exhausting. And that doesn't have to do with physical fitness.
Yeah.
It has to do with mental fitness. So both are equal, the physical and the mental fitness.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We sort of feel like something that separates a lot of photographers isn't necessarily knowing more, or any more skilled with the equipment. Often it's just about how hard they're working, right? In it to win it, and that's mental fitness and physical fitness, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah, I was going through one of Joseph Radek's interview, and then he mentioned that he already had a backache. Like while shooting, he has a back problem. And then he mentioned like it's so important that we all should go to the gym or just work out because we handle like big gears. And then obviously with time, we need to stay fit and just focus on what we can do.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're physically fit, you're going to be able to put more energy into that mental fitness, right? Where you're worried about your back, it's going to be really hard to be present and in the moment if you're physically exhausted.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So while I was doing my homework about you guys, just to know that you guys have been shooting 15 weddings a year and working 15 to 17 hours a day. So other than editing and deliverables, what all other things do you guys do?
With our wedding clients or just in general?
In general, yeah.
What other things do we do?
Yeah.
Oh, like with our life. Well, we stay fit and active and healthy. We try to, we live a pretty active lifestyle for the most part.
You try and get out and run every day, hikes, skiing with the kids,
camping,
paddling, anything outdoors and nature.
Yeah.
Awesome. So moving on to the next one, it says, before shooting any wedding, do you guys make a list of shots or prepare things?
No, the only list of shots we make is the family formals, right? The list of family formals that they want is really important. But other than that, no, we try and go into a wedding with no expectations about what kind of shots we're going to get or not going to get, because that puts that wedding in a box. That leads to us, making the same work over and over again.
Yeah.
So no, and it won't allow us to be open and present in the moment if we're thinking about a shot list or what we need to check off.
Yeah, we sort of feel like we all have a finite amount of mental bandwidth, right? There's only so much energy that we can draw upon at our weddings. And so we want to maximize as much of that bandwidth as possible to just observing, staying curious, paying attention, anticipating, reacting, without having to worry about imposing our own preconceptions about what should happen, when should it happen, where should it happen, in what light should it happen. We would rather just pay attention and document reality, because it's almost always far more interesting than anything that we can make up.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud, because sometimes I used to prepare and stuff a bit, and then once I'm at the wedding, and I feel bad because I thought that I would do this or that, but once I got to know from you guys, but I understand the different perspective of that, how we should not prepare before.
Yeah.
But there's no one way, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, right? We all have different approaches. This approach works well for us in creating the types of images that it helps us create, and also the kind of experience that our clients receive from us at their wedding. It's not, for us, it's not a photo shoot, it's their wedding. But
because on the surface, right, all the weddings have the same ingredients, right? I mean, you've got lots of different cultural elements in India, but especially North American weddings, they all have the same ingredients. They all have the cake cutting, the first dance, the putting of the rings, the garter toss, the bouquet toss, and same with you guys, right, with all the different rituals you have. But it's underneath that the real story is, right? Underneath that pageantry, underneath the scripted timeline, that's where the uniqueness is. That's where the personalities are. That's where the relationships are. That's where
the interesting photos are hiding.
That's where all the interesting photos are hiding. So,
but it's hard to see those photos. It's hard for them to find you if you're stuck up on that surface trying to make every wedding look the way you think it should look. Yeah.
Interesting. So now we have like a picture, which we're going to discuss. Like I found it like really interesting. You have like several questions on that picture. If you can help us discuss that, how you shot that particular picture. So do you mind if you can just add that on the page, and then we can discuss about that one. My favorite one is this one.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just me in the picture, but I'm sure.
That's okay. We know the photo. Yeah.
That was a whole lot of luck. Lining up for us in the right place at the right time, because that's all natural light, obviously. And so this frame happened to have things line up
Yeah.
You know, not only in the layers, but in the lighting as well.
Yeah. And the thing I want to say, not just about this images, but about all the photos on our website that people may have questions about, it's not about making the photo. It's not how did you take this photo?
Okay.
Because the taking of the photo or the making of the photo is actually the easy part. The hard part is seeing it, right? The first step is seeing it. So noticing how these layers line up, making little micro adjustments to get them to line up the way that we want, and anticipating, and you know, being present enough to see and notice this. That's the hard part. Once you notice this, the making of the photograph, that's the noticing, it's the art. The making of it is the craft.
Sure.
Right? And once we notice it and we're in that craft stage, it's quite easy.
Right?
Yeah, but actually seeing how you see the world is hard.
Yeah, because in this example, literally any photographer can make this photo. You just put the lens on, stand in this place at this time, and click the shot with these settings. Like literally anybody can make this photo. In terms of what you have to do with your camera and where you but not everybody will see this if things line up in this.
Not everybody will see this because most people aren't present. Most people are thinking about what's next on their shot list or where they're going to next or trying to make something totally epic. So it's about being present enough that you can notice these interesting things, this interesting reality that's playing out in front of our eyes, right? And staying curious. So
yeah, there's a lot of luck at play here, but this is sort of like being prepared for luck. You know, setting yourself up, stacking the cards in your deck, essentially, to be in the right place at the right time.
Just having patience and standing there and just waiting for the perfect moment, making sure that you're
also not settling, right? Having those high standards and realizing, oh, if I move my camera 2 inches to the left, I can frame these people a little bit more perfectly. And constantly, you know, like we would have worked this scene for this entire processional, which was probably, you know, 5 or 10 minutes long. Yeah. So it's not, you know, just standing there and waiting for it to line up. Right. Like it's definitely, there's an element of patience that comes with it, but the whole having high standards has to come in. Okay, this is not good enough. How can I make my little micro adjustments to make the next frame better than the previous frame?
And so it's more than just being patient and standing there and committing and waiting, because we don't have this frame in mind. This isn't a vision. This isn't like an idea that we're hoping is going to line up. We're literally just reacting to everything that's happening as they're moving. We're adjusting with them, trying to bring the compositional elements together as, you know, as best we can as it's happening.
Interesting. That's great. Yeah. So I felt like the lighting was so perfect that there might be some movement of the lights, but yeah, again, I understand the whole concept.
No lights.
Yeah.
Well, now that's not to say we don't use the dodge and burn tool a little bit to get the eye where we want it to go in the frame, right?
Yeah. So I have another one. This one.
So that's one flash coming in from camera left. So we've got the 16-35 on the camera. Whenever anybody goes back like that, our cameras go up, right? It's like one flash coming in on the left.
That's Ryan Bernizer. Ryan Bernizer is a famous wedding photographer in New York. Ryan and Tatiana.
Great. But you can see shadows on the hands, like on the right.
Yeah, not intentional.
Okay.
Not intentional. No, we'll never bring out the flash and like, oh, let's place the flash in this position so we can cast the shot. You know, that's just sort of luck again.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's my favorite. Like these two pictures, like just I've been kept on looking on those pictures and making me feel that, oh, it gives you like sometimes. I mean, I learned that there's a pleasure that when you see something so beautiful that for a lot of people, other things for me, it's just like to appreciate and to understand that how emotions, like how beautifully it has been clicked, and plus you could feel for like the ages and ages. Like whenever you see it, probably after a few years or days and stuff, you could just cherish that picture. Like that's what I feel personally.
That's cool.
That's the goal.
Okay, awesome. So we'll move on to the next question right now. I'm just going to remove this picture. Awesome. So we have the next one, which says, how to get the best out of the couple?
Jesus.
Well,
These are really hard questions to answer without
teaching an entire workshop.
That comes with our entire client experience. So for any of you that are watching, we have a group on Facebook that's called Workshops.
Yeah.
And Workshops. You can join it. And we did a whole, I think, 1 hour free workshop on our client experience, the experience that we're trying to give our clients.
Well,
That's how we get the most of them. But it's literally half a day at our full workshop. I can't explain, but my best recommendation would be to go and watch that video.
There's two. There's actually two free workshops.
Okay.
One, posing, basically all about posing. So with regard to portraits, that's all about how we get the best out of our couples' portraits. And then the other one is called gaining your client's trust.
Yeah.
And that's a look at how we get the best out of our couples for the rest of the day. Is documentary, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's the
In
best.
short, the way to get the best out of your couples is to give your best.
Interesting. So guys, everybody check out their workshops, guys. I would highly recommend to please go. Do you have on Facebook or Instagram where we can find the workshop that is going on?
Yeah, just Google or just type Twomann workshops in Facebook. You'll be asked 2 questions in order to get approved to the group. But
we've been doing a lot of kind of free little educational opportunities there right now for a lot of friends like us who are stuck at home, and we were meant to be teaching workshops all around the world right now. Of course, we can't, so we decided to spend some time in that group.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So guys, check out Twomann workshop. You guys would love it, and I'm sure, like, trust me, for me being a wedding photographer for the last 5 years, I know how important these things are. So whatever you can learn is from the expert. Okay, moving on to the next one. It's like, how important is taking breaks for food and water during a wedding? Like, has it ever happened that you guys went on shooting a wedding without actually having a meal, like a proper meal?
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be different for everybody.
Sure.
Really, you got to pay it. Of
depends
course,
if you're diabetic or not.
Yeah, but you got to take care of yourself first. Yes, you got to make sure you're hydrated and you're fed, and you're giving yourself that chance to have that stamina throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
It would be like running a marathon without drinking any water the day before, right? So you have to prepare for the fact that it's going to be a long day. Take the breaks that you need. Everybody works differently, but yeah, take care of yourself for sure. Just make sure those breaks are in times when you're not missing something important.
Correct. And especially with the Indian weddings, it's so hard that we try to keep the energy bars in our pocket, because we keep on obviously we've covered weddings in the States and Europe as well, but covering Indian wedding makes me feel the most that I have to stay active no matter what. Like,
yeah, I know Indian wedding is a different game for sure. It's
best part of Indian weddings, Indian food, not bread.
I know. Yeah, it's the best part.
Okay. So what are your favorite lenses to shoot a wedding from?
I would say our favorite lenses, it depends on the time of the day. But for the most part of the day, it would be a 35.
Yeah.
For the dance floor, it's a 16 to 35. And for portraits, it's an 85.
Yeah, depends. I'd say 35, except when that's not wide enough.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have a wider lens. And except when that's not telephoto enough, then I'd rather have a more telephoto
we could
lens.
just look at the answer that I gave, which was very good.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I have another one. It says, I was going through one of your blogs where they mentioned that you take 17,000 pictures in a wedding.
Well, that's a normal wedding. Last Indian wedding we shot, it was 42,000.
That was a 4-day wedding.
But how do you make sure that you, once you have the post-processing going on and you know that you need to select the best ones, how do you do that?
Well, that's a 5-hour section of the workshop. Right? I mean, these questions are, I can't answer it in a word. How do we do it? It's a whole process and a whole strategy that we've learned over time, but yeah, we obviously don't deliver anywhere near that. That's part of our process. That's part of what gets us to the results that we're looking for our clients. So we cull, just like everybody. We curate, and then we edit with post-production.
And we have very high standards when we do all 3 of those things. When we cull, you know, we're only going to deliver one image of a moment, not the best image of that moment, not 16 almost moments. And then you know, we're going to deliver the best. Yeah. So we got very high standards when we call, and then of course when we edit as well. Yeah.
So it takes us several weeks. We're not the photographers who shoot the wedding on Saturday and deliver the photos on Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. And our clients know this before they even hire us, that mm-hmm. the creative process continues after their wedding, and we live and breathe that wedding for up to 12 weeks while we carefully make mm-hmm. sure that all the photos we deliver are up to our standards for them.
Interesting. Okay. So it says, another one, interesting one. It says, you must have worked all over the world. What similarities and differences have you seen in people and culture?
Well,
I mean, I would say obviously there's a lot of similarities and differences all over the. Can I?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. All over the world, right, in different cultures. But I would say that we see uniqueness and differences between weddings and our couples, our clients and their guests, their friends and families, more on a wedding to wedding basis. Like, because no two people are the same, right? So every wedding, as long as we get down beneath the surface of pageantry, is unique and different. Yeah. And so it doesn't even necessarily have to be because it's a different culture or a different type of ceremony. It's just the people are different. Their relationships are different, right?
It doesn't change the way we shoot weddings. No, right? So regardless of what country we're shooting in, what rituals we're shooting, what culture we're shooting, we're still shooting with the same curiosity and the same, trying to maintain that sense of wonder, right? So it's trying not to put people in boxes and trying not to label, oh, well, this is a Telugu wedding, and I'm gonna shoot it this and this way. You know, we shoot a Telugu wedding with the same mindset and the same approach as we shoot an elopement. Right? One's obviously a lot harder work, and
more fun.
And one's more fun. But the same approach and the same process. Sure. Right?
Interesting. Speaking of the different rituals and stuff, do you study about different cultures before shooting the wedding so that you don't miss the moment?
Well, usually the guests do that for us.
Okay.
You know, there's always someone who's like, oh, this is what's coming up next. Sorry.
Just add to that, like, we often don't know what's happening or what's going to happen, and we don't even understand the language, right? So we can't hear or understand, but you can still feel, you can sense, we know when something's important, right? We can feel, okay, this is about to happen, or this is important, this is meaningful. So as long as we're there, present, actually looking and listening, we're not going to miss out on something important because we didn't know the traditions. It's like you can feel it, right? You can sense it, and we're not creating or directing anything. We're just reacting, and so even if we can't understand the language, it's still obvious where we should be with our cameras.
Yeah, exactly. And we're always following the main players, right? So I'm always usually with the bride, and Lanny's always usually with the groom. So any of the important things that happen are usually going to interact with those two people. Right. Yeah. So I'm shadowing her the entire time. So, and Lanny's shadowing the groom the entire time. If there's something outside of that that we should be aware of, yes, we will try and learn it beforehand.
Awesome. So what do you guys prefer, black and white pictures or colored pictures?
It depends.
It depends on the photo.
Yeah. It's totally, every photo is specific. Like, we can't even give you a rule of thumb for that. But basically, if the color isn't adding anything to the photo, if it's not adding to the story, if it's not adding to the emotion or the energy that we're trying to convey with that photo, then we'll turn it to black and white.
Yeah, I'd say if it looks better as a black and white, we prefer it as black and white. If it looks better as color, we prefer it as a color.
Okay.
Yeah, no rules there, no formulas.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever felt like somewhere that, okay, this one picture can look good in colored as well as black and white?
Yeah, there's some that it's a little bit harder. Can you just grab the phone there? Some it's a little harder for us to make the decision for sure, and some but
if the light is shit, we go black and white.
Okay. So
tell me what you want me to do.
I want you to stop.
Yeah. So once you deliver your work to the client, do you still keep in touch with them?
It depends if we like them. Yeah, no, sometimes, yeah. I mean, if we're, visiting, if I would never go to Mumbai and not visit Joseph, right?
Sure.
Some of our clients become very good friends. Some of them, we have more of a client photographer relationship. It really depends.
Interesting. So we have another one from the audience right now, and it says, pre-wedding photo shoots, how do you plan them? Like, what do you talk to the couple?
Pre-wedding, like an engagement session kind of thing?
Yeah, so let's, again, that's a good 2 hours in our workshop. Go to the posing workshop. It's called Posing for Posers. It's in the two-man workshop group. That'll answer that question way better than we can right now in this limited time.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, we try to make it a fun experience. We make it about the experience more about the photos.
Yeah.
That invariably helps us make better photos for them.
Correct. So do you guys also do videos?
No.
Okay, just the pictures. Okay. So this is a question from us. It's like, tell us about your early days. How did you convince your first client to pay for your creativity?
How did we convince our first client? Our first client convinced us. Our first client convinced us, right? Because our first client was probably like everyone's first client. It was a friend who was looking for a deal, didn't want to pay a lot for wedding photography, and we were able to fill that for her, right? I think we charged $1,000 Canadian dollars, which is like 500 American, for the first wedding we shot.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to convince anyone because we didn't actually set out to become wedding photographers, right? It wasn't our chosen career path. It's just, we sort of just became wedding photographers through, a cascade of.
Yeah. And again, I know I sound like a broken record here, but if you go and look for that one tutorial, which is gaining your client's trust, you will see exactly how we can convince people or how we educate people on our process and why we take that process. And it's, you're going to learn, it's an hour-long video. So
but basically what we do is we demonstrate for you exactly. So when we have that first client interaction before they've even hired us, right? That video chat session with them, we show you exactly how we explain our approach, right? And how we answer all of their questions before they've even hired us. So you get to see literally how we educate our clients.
Yeah, interesting. So how do you deal with bad clients? Someone commented right now, how do you deal with your bad clients? Like, do you have any bad clients as of now?
Do we have we have flashes.
No, she's saying
no, it says, how do you deal with bad clients?
Bad clients.
We've never had bad clients. Again, go to that video and it shows you exactly how we get to the point where we never have bad clients, because it's all about educating them about our process. If they're not the right fit for us, they won't hire us, because we make sure we have this meeting with all our clients before they're even allowed to hire us. And it's not a sales meeting. It's an education meeting. This is the approach we take. This is why.
So by bad client, I assume we're talking challenging clients.
Yeah.
And when clients become challenging, generally it's because we don't share the same expectations. They're expecting one thing of us, and our approach is not that. It's something different. So we're just super careful to explain our approach before they hire us and why we do it the way we do it. And then in doing that, one of two things happens. Either they get it. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I want. We're going to hire you. Or it just becomes blatantly obvious that we're not the right fit for them, which is totally fine. And then they don't hire us. They hire somebody else who's a better fit.
Yeah.
So I have this question that I personally feel that once you start working and you have certain quality and the like in the whole setup, like how you take pictures and how you deliver things and all, and obviously the creativity you put up on the top. But has it ever happened that you go to a wedding and you have that pressure and you know that there's nothing going on and it's really hard for you to get the same creativity up on the top?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's many times, not all weddings are created equal. Some weddings' creative potential is through the roof. Some weddings' creative potential is like minuscule. You have to go and find it and work extra hard to go and find it, right? And that's okay. They're not all created equal, right?
But it is what it is, right? Like it's it's important to understand that every wedding is different. Some are high energy, some are super quiet and mellow. And so we try not to bring any preconceptions about what their wedding should be, what their wedding photo should look like. They're going to appreciate the photo. We're going to make the best possible photos we can of whatever it is. Okay. And they're going to appreciate it because that's what it was. That was their wedding. Yeah. It's going to remind them how their wedding felt, right? What was happening at their wedding. And so we can do a better job of capturing that for them. Yeah. By just doing that rather than worrying about trying to create something and make it look like something that it's not.
Mm-hmm. Right. Don't bring your judgments into what's good and what's boring. I mean, it's hard not to. It's hard not to. It's easy for me to say, hey, don't judge whether it's good or boring, but those are your judgments.
Sure. Okay.
Right? Lanny and I had a very quiet, intimate wedding. For many photographers, it probably would have been boring as hell, but it's exactly what we wanted. Right? So don't bring your judgments into what's exciting and what's not.
But I'll add to that, if that's your approach, it's very important that your clients understand that before they hire you. Because if they don't, they may want you to create a wedding experience for them. They may want you to run a photo shoot. If that's the case, then they've hired the wrong photographer with us, right? Some photographers are great at that, and that's what they do, and that's what their clients hire them for. So you just have to make sure that your clients understand what you do and why you do it, and that they know what they're getting into with you, what they've signed up for, right?
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have a few more questions. We are like
let's do 3 more questions because
we just like 9 minutes.
Here.
Yeah, we just have 9 minutes from this time. I'll quickly wrap it up. We're just having more questions because there are people who are writing like 3 times the same question. So probably we're just trying to make sure that we ask. Okay, so it says, how do you deliver photos? It is printed albums or digital files? And on average, how many pictures do you deliver?
I think the last Indian wedding we delivered about 2,500 pictures, but typically on a one-day.
That was a multi-day.
That was multi-day. But typically on a one-day wedding, we'll deliver anywhere from 800 to 1,500 photos.
But not by design or not by promising anything. It's just that's what it usually works out to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we deliver in a gallery, and then also give an album.
Awesome. Perfect. So this last one, it says, we all are artists here, but what other platform do you think you want to try in addition to your current one?
What other platform do we want to try in addition to what?
I mean, other than photography.
Other forms of art. Well, personally, I've always really enjoyed writing. And this kind of gives, a little bit of a platform for me to do that as well, like with our blog. Get to push words around on the paper, which is fun.
I play music. I mean, it's everywhere, right? It doesn't have to be a pursuit. It can just be the way you live your life, right? The way you live your life and the way you choose to see the world can be the way of an artist, right? And so an artist doesn't always pursue art in a physical form like photography or painting or writing or piano. It's literally just, oh, look at the way this cabbage looks when I cut it in half. Oh, look at the way the light is hitting that chair. Oh, look at how Lanny's hair blows in the wind when the wind is blowing in this direction, right? It's appreciating
it. Magnificent.
It's magnificent. So I would say, personally, I pursue life as an artist 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And that's just
living an intentional life.
And that's a choice. It's a choice, right? It's a choice to see the world with wonder.
Awesome.
Whenever we can. Does that mean it's always wonderful?
Yeah.
No. But it's a choice to try and see it with curiosity and interest. And that doesn't always have to be love. It can be hate. It can be a whole range of different emotions. But seeing it and noticing how you see it, right? That's what artists do really well. Artists are very good at observing the way that they see and experience the world. That's the first step. The transferring it to the art is the second step, right? The first step is just noticing. So
and transferring it to an art form, like a physical art form, whatever that is, whether it's a piece of music or a photograph or a video film, doesn't have to be done professionally, right? In order to, appreciate it, appreciate the artistry of it, you know.
This morning I made bread. That was a work of art.
Yeah, I tried to have like a cup of tea before coming just to make sure that okay, they're gonna be having a good session and then just gonna sit slowly and steadily and just have fun at the same time. But yeah, it was wonderful having you. Thank you for taking.
Oh, it was our pleasure.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a gong show trying to get it all working, but we appreciate you, appreciate the questions.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, it was wonderful, and then hopefully we get to meet someday and learn from the experts. So guys, please check out all the workshop that is happening on Twomann workshop, and I'm sure you're not going to regret. Trust me, because I've studied them. I've been following them for the last 4 years now, and I could understand the part they're doing. So guys, please, everyone, right now, just go and check out. And this is the one-time opportunity, and then I hope everyone finds it really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. And we're offering all sorts of free workshops right now because we know everybody's stuck at home. So, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Ciao, ciao.